What did you do to me?
And then at 18, your breathing will become labored. And just before everything shuts down on you,
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
There are movies that test the limits of fear, and then there are those that take fear itself and turn it into silence, complete, bone-chilling silence. The upcoming movie, Don't Move, does exactly that. It's not just another horror film. It's a psychological trap, a story built around tension, panic, and the unbearable weight of stillness. From the very first second, it grips you with a sense of dread that keeps growing, reminding you that sometimes survival depends on doing the impossible, staying absolutely still. The film follows a woman caught in a deadly situation that demands complete control over her fear. One wrong move, one trembling breath, and it's over. The creators behind this film have crafted it with the kind of precision that horror fans crave, slow-building suspense, emotional stakes, and a sense of realism that makes it feel all too possible. Every frame, every sound, every whisper of movement builds the illusion that you're right there with her, counting each second and praying she doesn't make a sound. The world of Don't Move is set up in a way that makes it claustrophobic from the very beginning. You can almost feel the walls closing in, as the main character navigates an environment that's both familiar and frightening. The atmosphere is thick, and the cinematography plays a key role in creating that suffocating tension. Low lighting, long silences, and the smallest environmental sounds become crucial to the storytelling. It's a reminder that in horror, what you don't see or can't do is often scarier than what's right in front of you. The acting takes center stage in this kind of film because so much depends on expression and emotion rather than dialogue or action. The lead performance captures the essence of fear, perfectly, not loud or overdramatic, but subtle, restrained, and real. Her trembling hands, darting eyes, and silent desperation draw the audience in, making you feel every ounce of her terror. The chemistry between fear and survival becomes the driving force of the story, and it's that raw authenticity that elevates the movie beyond a typical horror flick. As the story unfolds, the film dives deeper into its psychological roots. It's not just about a physical threat, but about what fear does to the mind. The line between safety and danger begins to blur, creating moments of doubt not only for the character but for the audience too. Who can she trust? What's real and what's imagined? These questions linger throughout, giving the movie a layered and cerebral tone that challenges the viewer's own sense of stability. The pacing of Don't Move is deliberate, designed to build pressure with every passing scene. Each moment adds to the intensity, like a heartbeat getting faster with every near miss. There's no room for unnecessary jump scares or cheap thrills. This film earns every moment of fright through atmosphere, emotion, and timing. When something finally happens, it's not expected. It's earned, and that makes it hit so much harder. One of the most interesting aspects of this movie is its use of silence as a weapon. In most films, sound drives the tension, but here it's the absence of it that creates fear. You start noticing the smallest noises, breathing, footsteps, the creak of a floorboard, and they become monumental. The silence becomes its own character, unpredictable and dangerous, keeping both the protagonist and the audience on edge. The visual storytelling stands out for its creativity and subtlety. Every corner, every shadow, and every flicker of light tells part of the story. The filmmakers use tight close-ups and still frames to amplify the feeling of being trapped. It's almost as if the camera itself is afraid to move. These creative choices make Don't Move not just terrifying, but visually haunting, something that lingers in your mind long after the credits roll. There's also a deeper emotional undercurrent running through the story. Beyond the surface of horror and suspense, the film explores themes of guilt, trauma, and the struggle to maintain control when everything around you is falling apart. The main character's journey is as much about facing her own fears as it is about surviving the external threat. It gives the movie a human core that connects with audiences on a more personal level, making the horror feel grounded and meaningful. The supporting characters add layers to the story without overshadowing the main arc. Each one brings a new piece to the puzzle, intensifying the mystery and driving the plot forward. Some help, some harm, and some blur the line between both, creating a web of uncertainty that keeps you guessing until the very end. The writing avoids cliches and instead focuses on character-driven suspense, ensuring that the story never loses its emotional edge. As the movie reaches its climax, everything tightens. The pace quickens, the silence becomes unbearable, and the audience feels every ounce of tension that's been building throughout. It's a moment of release and terror all at once, where survival depends entirely on instinct. The final moments are both shocking and satisfying, tying together the film's emotional and psychological threads in a way that feels complete yet leaves room for reflection. The direction of the movie deserves special mention because it captures the essence of minimalist horror. There's confidence in the way each shot is framed and in how the story is told without relying on loud effects or over-explanation. The filmmakers clearly trust their audience to feel the tension rather than being told to. It's a mature and restrained approach that stands out in a genre often filled with excess. Don't Move has all the makings of a standout entry in modern horror, strong performances, a gripping concept, and a haunting atmosphere that never lets go. It's the kind of movie that proves you don't need big budgets or flashy effects to create something truly terrifying. All you need is a powerful idea, a talented cast, and a story that gets under your skin and stays there. By the end, what makes this film unforgettable is how real it feels. The fear is intimate, the stakes are personal, and the silence is deafening. It reminds you that the scariest things aren't always the monsters or ghosts. It's the quiet moments where danger breathes next to you and you can't even flinch. Don't Move captures that feeling perfectly, giving audiences not just a horror movie but an experience that plays with the limits of human endurance and fear. It's a story that invites you to question what you'd do in the same situation. Could you stay completely still when everything inside you is screaming to run? Could you silence your fear long enough to survive? The movie never gives easy answers, and that's what makes it brilliant. It's a test not just for its characters, but for the audience watching. How long can you sit still before your heart starts pounding too loud? Ultimately, Don't Move isn't just about horror. It's about control. It's about the fight between fear and focus, between chaos and calm. It's the kind of film that doesn't just make you jump, it makes you think, breathe slower, and listen closer. And when it's over, you'll find yourself sitting in silence, just like the characters, wondering if you've truly escaped the tension or if it's still there, waiting in the quiet. That's the brilliance of Don't Move. It doesn't end when the screen fades to black. The fear lingers, the silence echoes, and the story stays with you long after you've left the theater. It's a rare horror film that respects its audience enough to scare them intelligently. And that's exactly why it's bound to make a lasting impact.